Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng Pilipinas 360 Degrees. Hindi kami morning person, pura kami walang tulog. So if in the previous episode medyo nabubulol kami at napunta kung saan-saan yung discussion natin from Gamal Abdel Nasser to Maduro, eto balikan natin ng konti. So let's go closer to home, Sir Ronald. And hopefully we'll also have Admiral Tariela with us in a different kind of platform soon. What do you read of this? The Russians already are delivering oil to us. Ito yung dapat kalaban ng mundo dahil sa aggression nila against Ukraine. Who knows, maybe even with Iran kasi na-waiver din yung sanctions on Iran, di ba? The Indians are already buying Iranian oil. But at the same time also, now suddenly you have the signaling that maybe we want to restart discussions on joint development in the West Philippine Sea. What's going on there? Kasi alam natin, technically speaking, it will take years before we'll take advantage of that. So wala siyang bearing. Is this market signaling? Is it diplomatic signaling? Is it because we're us in chair, we want to say something nice? Because the pro-China shields have been making a lot out of this.
Well, three things, no? Three things. Una, hindi naman yan nangyari ngayon. Nangyari yan noong panahon ni Digong. Di ba? Ang sabi nga ni former Secretary of Foreign Affairs noong panahon ni Digong, si Ambassador of Jesus Christ, Alan Peter Cayetano, nasa advanced stage na yung negotiation. No? At nagpatuloy yan hanggang dun sa panahon ni Secretary
Locsin.
Eddie Boy Locsin.
See,
no?
morning talaga.
Nagpatuloy yan.
Kulang yan lang kape mo, Sir Ronald. Sige lang.
Nagpatuloy yan hanggang doon sa
Gamal Abdel Nasser, baka biglang sabihin mo.
Ang sabi nila ay advanced stage na yan. Pero bumunggo yan dun sa sino ba ang majority holder nung exploration. Dahil hindi naman papayag ang China na tayo. Dahil i-undermine yan yung kanilang 11-dash line na advanced na nga dahil ino-occupy na nila yung ating territory ng kanilang artificial islands. Hindi rin naman papayag ang Pilipinas dahil labag yan sa ating konstitusyon. No? Yung ating territory, bibigyan mo ng majority stake yung isang foreign power na ini-invade na nga tayo para mag-drill. No? So, walang nangyari dyan.
Baka service contract na lang kaya or something like that na Chinese yung mag-drill pero sa atin pa rin yung sovereignty.
Well, depende nga dahil si Justice Carpio ay sabi niya, mahalaga kasi kung ano yung term na gagamitin mo. Yung joint exploration, ang ibig sabihin niyan, China yung in control. Diba? So, ganun ang kanya. Una, anong tawag? Dahil meron diyang mga term na ginagamit. Ikalawa, the devil is in the details. Ano yung detalye?
And the devil is in details na dapat malaman natin. Kasi we had the joint seismic undertaking nung panahon ni Arroyo, President Arroyo, with Vietnam and China. And some of the provisions were secret, right? Last time I checked. Kaya naging constitutional challenge siya.
Yes. Baka nga ang mas maganda pa, ibang bansa ang ating kontratahin. Dahil yung technology dyan, hindi lang naman yan sa China. Marami pang ibang bansa.
Pero baka takot sila. Like we know Total before and all, they pulled out of Respol from Vietnam.
Mas yun ang difference. Dahil ang Malaysia at saka Vietnam ay nagdi-drill dun sa contested waters with China. At hinaharas din sila ng China. Pero
go pa rin
hindi
sila.
napigilan yung pagdi-drill. So baka yun yung difference natin. No? Yung political will at saka yung tapang na mag-drill in alliance with other countries. Yun yung...
Which is weird, right? I mean, they don't have US alliance. We have a US alliance and yet para tayo pa yung takot, tayo pa yung coward.
Correct.
Which is a weird situation.
Ikalawa ay nakita natin recently yung ginawa ng US sa Venezuela at saka Iran. Part ng objective doon ay to deny China
access to energy.
Source to oil.
So we can leverage that. We can say the Americans help us here because this is about access to energy resources. Is that what you're saying?
Pero anong iisipin ng mga Amerikano pag sinabi ng ating presidente na joint exploration ito with China for the source of oil. So, ayun yung...
Maybe it's a SOS. Parang we're so desperate now dahil di naman kami nakinonsulta, sinugudlan niya lang Iran.
But that will take time. It will take at least a decade. Para yan ay talagang ma-explore, ma-drill, etc. Sino na ba presidente noon by that time? So, hindi yan ganun. Kung desperate ka, ang kailangan mo, itong Russian oil tanker. No, na darating
or Iranian oil even.
Pero at the same time, dumating siya, 1.5 days lang yung supply na yan. So yung sinasabi ng gobyerno na may 45 days tayo, totoo ba yun? Sige, bigyan natin ng benefit of the doubt para hindi mag-panic, di ba? Pero ang reality ay hindi lang just a price crisis. The reality is the possibility of a supply crisis. Parehas game changer yan. Dahil wala naman yung gobyernong resources o fiscal space para mapunuan yung price crisis.
But we don't even have strategic reserves, Sir Ronald. And I said, kayo,
No, we don't have
why
anything.
didn't we build strategic reserves?
Dahil sa oil deregulation law, kanyan magastos, no? Kailangan mo ng mga paglalagyan.
Storage,
na storage
capacity,
yan. Nag-deregulate ka eh. So, hindi mo magawa yan. Tapos, hindi mo ma-impose dun sa mga oil companies na, lampasan nyo naman ng 60 days yung ating oil reserves. Gawin nyo naman at least 6 months. Hindi mo magawa yon dahil nga may oil deregulation ka. So, in the medium term and in the long term, kailangan talagang balikan yan, yung oil deregulation law. No?
Right.
Pero, ang epekto niyan, medium term and long term pa. Pinag-uusapan lang ngayon. No?
Now how to survive the next
yung
month.
sinasabi mo na strategic oil reserves.
Yeah.
Hindi mo na magagawa ngayon yan in the middle of a
Yeah.
crisis. No? Kaya, mas yung deklarasyon ng Presidente of a state of energy crisis, mahalaga yon. Dahil long overdue na yun eh. Hindi ka kasi nagpe-prepare sa emergency pag may emergency na. Nagpe-prepare ka long before. Tapos medyo parang masyadong nuance. Parang Richard Haydarian, yung mag-analyze ang gobyerno. Nuance.
Yung Monday version ni Haydarian. Hindi yung weekend version.
National Energy Emergency.
Yeah.
Ba't di mo na lang tinawag National Emergency? No?
Right.
No?
Hindi nga, kasi syempre Marcos ang pangalan. Ayaw naman, di ba? Like, emergency powers Marcos has a certain connotation.
Alam ko lang nagnunuwas mga political analysts. Kaya,
May kilala ko, analyst, walang nuance. Yun yung
Wala,
problema.
wala. Oo, black and white.
Speaking of walang nuance, Sir Ronald, nasaan na tayo with the opposition? This is the last important part. Like, where are we in terms of the internal conversations about a united, Unipink? Let's just call it Unipink. Because, let's be honest, I think that Lenny, Bam, Riza, we're all in the same team, supposedly. Ayun yung argument ng supporters nila. But at the same time, we saw na, we're in the same team. But at the same time, I saw there was a lot of back and forth. Nag-tone down na ba yan? Because things got very emotional. I remember last month, I was at The Hague, di ba? When Senator Bam said that ideally sana sa Pilipinas gagawin. And I think these are based on some of the numbers suggesting that 50-60% of Filipinos rather than have justice by domestic courts. And then, of course, that triggered a lot of response. People questioning, so what does it mean? You're not supporting what's happening in ICC and all. My sense though, Sir Ronald, as critical as I was of parang yung timing ng statement and all of that was, hindi kaya maganda na we openly discuss this so that makikita ng tao saan galing si Bam, saan galing si Risa, saan galing... Well, ikaw, alam na natin saan ka galing kasi you're all over the place. Kasi I think there should be a healthy way to agree to disagree or a healthy way to at least allow people to express their sides. And I'm not gonna name names, but some people are saying, purong kayo na lang ni Ronald ang nagsasalita, parang you're dominating the whole discourse over the opposition, dapat daw may primaries, dapat daw ganyan. Sir, what is the healthy, smart way? Because at the end of the day, dapat unipink eh. Otherwise, I don't think it's easy.
Okay naman yung primaries to choose a leader. Ang problema, mas madali yan kung isa kayong political party.
Which we don't.
Kung several political parties kayo, tapos may civil society, hindi ganun kadali.
Yeah.
No? Ikalawa, it's about numbers eh. It's about numbers.
Sa surveys, you mean?
Sino ba yung may fighting chance against Sara? Na nangunguna in all the surveys, no? At medyo malaki yung kanyang agwat. Kaya in a way ay ideal yung panahon para magkaroon ka ng third pole. Dahil nga ay existential yung battle between the Marcoses and the Dutertes. Parehas silang damage and madadamage pa sila yung Marcos government dahil dito sa handling ng anti-corruption campaign. Walang big fish na nakukulong. Tapos itong elephant in the room, itong economic crisis brought about by the
double
Iraq War.
whammy.
Tapos, yung mga Dutertes, itong mga charges against them. Corruption, mass murder, no,
China.
pro-China, etc., no, pro-maniacs, no. So, parehas silang nadadamage eh. Maganda sana na sumulpot yung third pole.
Yeah.
No? Ang problema nga, itong third pole, hindi pa magkasundo kung sino ang kanilang leader. Dahil ngayon, naghahanap yung tao eh. Ayaw namin dito. So, sino kami? No?
But shouldn't there be like rules about how there should be a discussion? Kasi, yun nga, kasi parang yung third pole sa tingin ko, wala pang ideas about how to have a healthy debate. Whether you want Risa, whether Lenny pa rin, whether you want Bam, right? Because each of them can make a strong argument. Lenny could say, all the surveys show she's still at least the second now. Bam was number 2 in the Senate, so he feels he has the momentum. Riza would say, no, I'm the de facto leader of the opposition. I fought the good fight. So each of them have a case. So how can you have a healthy discussion sa third poll? And then, of course, yung other parties, I don't think without a grand coalition, especially the Tulfos in the picture, I think all the surveys show Tulfos are going to be a major factor here. Kingmakers or queenmakers. How do you coordinate that, Sir Ronald, in a healthy way? Alam ko nang-aasaran tayo, we make fun of each other, we have pot shots, but there has to be a healthy adult way of doing this, right, Sir Ronald?
Tutuloy ko yung ating asaran, no? Ideally, merong
I'm just really helping.
Ideally, meron tayong process na dadaanan as
Right.
you propose, di ba?
Right.
Na may consensus dun sa process para kung ano yung resulta ng process, may consensus din.
Correct.
Tapos medyo scientific yung pagpili.
Right.
But in the real world, no, it's about people eh. Sino ba ngayon yung umaangat? Sino ba ngayon yung may fighting chance labang kay Sara? Meron ka lang numbers dyan eh. Ang problema, halimbawa, sa ngayon, si Lenny yung mataas. No? Around
Right.
30%. Sara around 39 to 40.
So very close. 8
Tapos-
points, 9 points
tapos
lang.
yung,
Yeah.
Tapos yung iba ay 18% yung mga tulpo,
Yeah.
etc. So, kailangan mag-decide immediately ni Lenny, no, a final decision kung tatakbo siya o hindi. Kung hindi, then yung kanyang 30% pwedeng ilipat kay Bam or kay Risa. Habang nandiyan kasi si Lenny, undecided, hindi aangat si Bam at saka si Risa. Yung 15-16 million votes na bumoto sa kanya noong 2022, hindi naman yan pupunta kay Sara eh. No? Ang pwedeng pumunta kay Lenny or a pink candidate ay yung 30 million votes na pinaghahatian ng
But
Duterte
the problem,
sa
Sir
Marcos.
Ronald, is when is that decision going to be made? Because you can always debate that the surveys that will really matter is going to be in the fourth quarter of next year or in the first quarter of 2028. But some would say, ngayon pa lang, medyo alam mo na, kunyari, Lenny has a very good chance.
Yeah,
and then the other one is, should Lenny openly endorse someone? Kasi that could create split. Let's say Lenny endorses Riza or Bam. Baka magtampo yung isa.
Hindi.
Baka mag-ano. So
Hindi.
how do you do that?
Hindi. Everybody, for now, will defer to Lenny. No? Dahil everybody knows that kailangan ng isang kandidato labang kay Sara.
Right.
No? Tingin ko, kahit maraming idiots in the room, no, hindi sila ganun ka-stupid para tignan na pwede ang several candidates against Sara. Dapat
Yeah.
isa lang. No? Kaya kung tatakbo si Lenny, everybody will defer to her. Kung hindi siya tatakbo, ay
Yung endorsement niya.
aangat yung kanyang i-endorse.
Right.
No? At but sabi mo nga, hindi ito pag mangyayari sa 2027.
Yeah.
2028 will happen in 2026.
Yeah.
May impeachment ka, may economic crisis ka, may anti-corruption ka.
Kailangan ng third
unprecedented.
poll.
So, lahat yan nagko-converge, no, towards, ideally, to a third poll leader. No? Dahil a third poll leader ay natural sa kanya na i-harness yan.
Yeah.
Yung anti-corruption issue, yung anti-impunity issue, itong nationalist issue natin,
Right.
etc. Imaginein mo kung mapupunta yan sa isang third poll leader. Ang problema nga, neither here nor there
Right.
pa yan. At kailangan yan mangyari 2026.
2026.
Yeah.
Last point, speaking of ideal situation, again, I don't think there could be a uni-pink or grand coalition without the Tulfo factor, whether as a vice president or somehow in the picture, right? Having said that, whether it's Rafi or whether it's Erwin, you know them also very well. What should be the parameters of cooperation grand coalition? Dapat ba iakyat ng kamay ni Rafi Tulfo, sabihin natin si Bam or si Risa or Lenny? Should the president be involved? Maybe in the north, not here. Like how do you make it work operationally?
Dapat dyan, isang tulpo, most probably si Erwin, na kahit
VP.
matalo naman, ay senador pa rin siya,
No
ay maging
lose.
vice president. Bakit? Dahil value added yan doon sa isang pink candidate, whether Lenny, Risa, or
Or Bam.
Bam. No? Ikalawa, kung hindi mangyayari yan, pwedeng agawin ni Sara yung tulpo supporters. Dahil meron silang similarity in
Yung
terms
strong
of
leader,
populist
right-wing
ethos.
yeah, exactly.
So, kailangan may isang tulpo
Na openly endorse.
i-harness yan patungo dun sa candidate na kalaban ni Sara.
Correct.
Or else,
Pupunta yan kay Sara.
Significant part yan, pupunta kay Sara.
Yeah. Yun nga eh. Thank you so much, Sir Ronald, on that. I think that sets us up. Hopefully, gising ka na, no? Because we have one more with Admiral Tariela, our newly minted Admiral. Pag-usapan natin ng konti ulit ang West Philippine Sea and China because this is a very
Behave
important
ako doon. Dahil...
Ideally, behave ka. I notice you cannot help but ideally sana, kasama ka dun sa constructive process, Sir Ronald. That's exactly what I'm doing. And that note, thank you so much everyone for joining us for the latest episode ng Pilipinas 360 Degrees. Watch out for our upcoming episodes, including other collaborations, of course, with our newly minted also Admiral J. Tariela. God bless. Thank you very much.